recording. And everybody can mute your mic. I don't know why we have an echo. Is that better? Better? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for social studies today, we are going to continue through our slideshow. Okay, remember how I said we're going to go through each image and do like a brief background and sort of overview of what we're going to talk about this year in social studies. And then we are going to have a quick assignment, okay? Shouldn't be too difficult, but we are going to have an assignment, so it's important you pay attention. So if you want to maybe take notes, if you didn't take notes on yesterday's slide, you can do that. Or if you think you just have the best memory, you can go ahead and work off of that. But our assignment will be based on yesterday's discussion and today's discussion, okay? Okay, so I'm going to screen share now.
I gotta tell you something.
Sure.
That you froze. You froze.
Okay. Am I frozen for anybody else, or can you see? You can see my screen?
No.
No? Okay, Gabriel, so maybe if you want to leave the meeting and come back, because I don't think it's frozen for anybody else.
Okay.
Okay? Or like I said, I'm recording, so you could always go back and watch this if you have to. I think you know. Okay. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, come on. Okay, so the first three slides that we discussed are Americans, exploration, Mr. Marco Polo himself, and the English colonies, which we said were the first actual 13. Okay? And if everybody can mute their mics once again, that would be great. Let's see, who is that? Okay. So the fourth slide we are going to, oh geez. Okay, I'm just gonna do it like this. The fourth slide we're gonna talk about is the French and Indian War. So does anybody have anything that they might feel really confident that they know about the French and Indian War? Anybody at all? Where did you go? No? Okay. So
with the French Indians?
yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So I will go ahead and ask a quick question. Has anybody heard of that new musical, that really big play called Hamilton? Or maybe you heard your parents talking about it, or you watched it yourself. Yeah, so I see Arrington's hands up, but that's because I only have a small screen. Anybody else? Violetta, Elvie, okay. Yareli, good. Nice, okay. So yes, so Hamilton's the new really big hit right now. Everybody listens to the music, they've watched the play, maybe they've gone to see it live in person, which is really cool. But if you noticed, or if you've ever watched it yourself or really listened to the music, they're always referring to a war. And the war that they're referring to is actually the French and Indian War. So the French and Indian War took place because there was this Ohio River Valley. So in the Ohio River Valley actually cuts through us today. So Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, I think it said Kentucky, and I think Virginia, and a couple of other states. So if you guys remember, Marco Polo inspired this exploration. These people had no idea that there was other land out there. Hold on. Here comes Nacha. So they had no idea about all of this other land. And by other land, I mostly mean the United States. So the first settlers, the Native Americans, sort of had their tribes here. And then when the Europeans came to the United States. That's what created these 13 colonies, or the 13 first U.S. states. But there were still areas of land that they hadn't discovered that are now the United States, like areas like, let's say, California, or in this part that we're talking about in the French and Indian War, the area known as Indiana, where we live right now. So there's this Ohio River Valley, and on one side lived the Native Americans, okay? And then on the other side were the British. And then there was another side, so let's say it's in 3 areas. You've got one border, middle, border, and then another area. On this side, over here, oh, you can't see me because you can't. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. So you have it like this. Over on this side of the border, were the French. In the middle were the Native Americans, and on this side were the British. So the French, the British were starting to come over in the French land. This is the Ohio River Valley, right in the middle, by middle of the hands. And they started buying land. The Native Americans started selling it to the British, and they were like, if you're going to give us a lot of money or a lot of, let's say, trade supplies or something like that, we're going to start selling you some of our land. So some British colonists started moving here from the 13 colonies that we talked about. And so the French they noticed that, and they were like, oh no, they're starting to come and they're taking over the Native Americans' land. And we lived in peace with the Native Americans, on these 2 parts of the border. But now here come the British. So now we're a bit worried. They're taking it kind of as a threat. So they're saying, okay, they're going to eventually come and try to take our land. So what the French did over here was they started building these really big, like, let's say teepees, these really big buildings. And they were sort of trying to, lay down the law and say, we're the big guy here. You're not going to come and you're not going to take our land. So when the British saw that, they started sort of taking it as a threat as well. And they were like, oh, they want to go to war. So basically, one action led to another, and they ended up in a giant French and Indian war. And the Native Americans got involved because this was their land in the first place. And they said, whoa, we don't want this fighting over the land that is still technically ours. So it started a huge war. And it's really interesting to think about because, let's say, had the French not built those big towers, or I don't know, one of the British leaders sort of woke up and was having a really good day. Maybe if one thing was said differently, the war would have never happened and history would be different as we speak. And we're going to talk about a few wars in our class and sort of think about maybe what would have happened had, something gone differently. It's really interesting if you think about it like that. So that's the first war we're going to talk about, is the French and Indian. It might sound boring now, but I promise it's going to be it's actually really interesting. So the second, or the 5th slide we're talking about is the Declaration of Independence. Anybody have something they want to say about that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Gabriel?
So, I remember this picture is behind the dollar bill, or I don't know, I forgot it was from a dollar. It was from some dollar. I don't
Okay.
know. I forgot what number it was, like 1 or 25. I don't know. I forgot.
I have a $2 bill. I think that's my $2. I need to check if that's on my $2 because I have one.
I have one too. It's behind my case. I can show it to you right now.
It's my
Right here.
Okay, while they shuffle and look for their bills. Anybody else? Yadeli, you want to share how they look for their... Oh,
Mine's right here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I have mine.
I have mine too. I'm
It's
trying
right here.
So I feel like it's like behind when they were making the what's it called? I forgot. It's on. Mine is on it. Mine. Laws. I think it was the laws.
Okay.
Mine has the exact same thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Okay. So was the picture on there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go. Confirmation.
right here.
Nice. Okay, so we can put our bills away. That's really cool. I have a $2 bill stored somewhere. I try not to use it because it's a really cool, and they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, my mom says it's lucky.
Yeah. It is. Sometimes you'll get it from a store and I freak out every time I get some cool bills.
Well, I just leave my behind my case.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Emergency money if you need it. So back to what Ureli said. She said it's sort of like when they made laws. So you might be thinking of the Constitution, but it's very similar. It is a big part of our history. It's still, if you go to Washington, D.C., it's up in there somewhere very fancily. But it is sort of like one of the first major legal documents that was printed. And what the Declaration of Independence was, let me make sure I'm still screen sharing. Um, so after the war between the French and Indians, they realized that their colonies, like we said in the beginning, the 13 colonies, which were the first 13 states, at this time they said, you know what, let's make them states and let's make all of these borders, these little areas of land, independent from each other. And what they mean by independent is what we have today, right? We have Indiana has its own border and its own place. It's different from Illinois, and Illinois is different from California. So basically, that's what the Declaration of Independence was. It was these group of men, some names you probably know, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams. These men all sat down and they said, you know what, let's make these border areas, these colonies, that called them colonies back then, independent. So then they became states. Um, and if you don't know, we actually celebrate this document every year. What day of the year do you think we celebrate this document? And it's a big celebration all around the world. Well, not around the world, all around the United States. Anybody want to take a guess? With five. There's always fireworks. Maybe.
July 4th.
Yes, exactly. 4th of July. We call it, what do some people call it? They call it Independence Day, right? So it kind of makes sense. It's when all of the states became independent. So that's really cool to think about. So basically, when we study this chapter, we're going to study why July 4th exists and what makes it so special to people who live in the United States, okay? The sixth slide, or the sixth chapter we're going to talk about, is the American Revolution. So remember here when we said that they wanted to make the 13 British colonies, hold on, let me mute. I think it's one, okay. They are British colonies, right? That's where they originated from, because the people who came from Europe and started the United States here were from Great Britain, or what we know as, or like areas like England, okay? So they came over, but what we might not really understand or know, okay, what's going on here? What we might not know is that the states still technically belong to the British. They wanted to rule the United States. So imagine today, seriously imagine if we were still ruled by England or the British. Do you think we would have accents? Do you think we would take part in their culture and drink tea and eat crumpets and have British money? Yeah, right? It's kind of interesting to think about how different it could have been had this not happened. So basically, the American Revolution was between the Patriots and the Redcoats. So these are the Patriots, and these are the Redcoats. And if you notice, the word patriots sounds a lot like what we talk about on the 4th of July, right? Are you patriotic? Do you love your country? Are you willing to fight for your country? That's sort of what they mean when they talk about the American Revolution. It means the people who moved and settled in America realized, or what back then was the colonies, which then turned to the states in the Declaration, but they were still ruled by the British over here. So they were like, you know what? We don't want to be ruled by the British. Since the Declaration of Independence, we want our own states and we want our own country and we want it now. So what they did was they started a war with Britain and said, we want the United States to be their country. We do not want to be a part of Great Britain. Somebody's mic keeps unmuting. I think it's Please. It's going to do that. It's totally okay. Um, So these are the redcoats, which basically represent the British, and these are the patriots, which represent the United States, and the people who fought for the United States. So, yeah, that's basically it. That's an overview. We're gonna really get into detail and talk about all the different characters that take place during this time, but that's basically it. So does anybody have anything they would like to say? I know Violetta has her hand up.
Yesterday, when I went to physical therapy,
Mhm.
they started talking about the Independence Day.
Yeah. Did they say anything? Did they say anything that might have stuck out to you, or was it just funny that they were talking about it just yesterday and then we're talking about it today? Yeah, kind of a coincidence. Yeah, I love when that kind of stuff happens to me. Anybody else have any questions about the slideshow for today? The brief one? No? Okay. So I'm going to show you guys your homework. I am going to upload it during our 15-minute break. So it'll be there after this class. What am I doing? It's not in Teams. I haven't uploaded it yet. So basically, like I said, it's going to be really easy. I once again provided the 6 chapters that we've talked about so far from yesterday's class and from today. And if you missed yesterday's class or you don't quite remember some of the things we talked about, you could always go back and just watch, however long it took, 10 minutes maybe 15, to go over the first 3 slides and, what they all what each picture represents and what we're going to talk about. So it says, students, so far we have briefly discussed 6 images that we will talk about later on in the year. The images and chapters are below. Tonight, I would like for you all to pick one of the 6 images that we've discussed and tell me which chapter you are most excited to learn about, or which you don't really understand yet, which you might have a lot of questions or already have questions about, or even which one you might think will be the most boring. You can even talk about that if you think. I won't get my feelings hurt. Like I said, I didn't write the book. So each response should be around 1 paragraph, so there are at least 5 sentences. And I provide the pictures and, the chapter name. So it might spark your memory about what we've talked about. I want you to turn it in tonight or by class time tomorrow morning, so 8:30 in the morning. It's a really easy assignment. Once again, this isn't difficult. We won't be really getting into the big time homework until next week when we start really studying the chapter. I can't give you too much work because we haven't really done too much in class, okay? So does everybody feel comfortable on uploading an assignment one more time? Because for some reason, and let me show you guys. I know it's not your fault and it might be difficult using the app. So let's say here. So in ELA, you see, yeah, so for example, Gracias showed up as a post. Some of yours showed up as a file. A couple of you here, if you can see them. So what I want you guys to know is that when you're doing, I know that we have our different channels here. You have ELA and Social Studies. This is where you'll come to find the readings. So I already uploaded our reading today. But when you're turning in assignments, you don't have to worry about going into a channel. All you have to do is open General, so basically open the team, and up here the assignments. The assignments for both Social Studies and English will be up here. And that's where you click the letter to Harriet Tubman. That's where you would turn it in, okay? So you would click on it. It would look like this. And then down here, it might say attach with like a little paper clip. And that's where you would upload it, okay? So you don't have to worry about going into the channel and going into files and then uploading it or into posts. Always, 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 if you can, submit your assignment in the assignment thing, okay? And the whole prompt should pop up and there should be an attach button. Okay? Sound good? I know you're still getting used to it. I'm still getting used to it too, so it's not a big deal. But for the future, it just makes it a lot easier for me to find everybody's assignment and make sure I don't give somebody a 0 and then their assignment be somewhere else and I don't know that it's there. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we ended 5 minutes early, which is pretty good. It's not bad timing. But remember, we stay here for English. So if you guys actually, since we do have 5 minutes, let me just show you something. Really quickly, sorry. I don't know whoever's using a desktop or a computer. If you click on calendar, your old meetings might have popped up. So last night I got a lot of messages saying like, oh, like they won't let me in English class. It was like at noon or at 1 o'clock, or is English canceled? Is social studies, or yeah, it was English. Is language arts canceled? Um, that was our old schedule when we had classes from 1 to 2. But now since we don't, this is what your calendar should look like. It should look something like this. You might not see 5As because you're 5B, but it should look something like this, okay? Where you only see 1, 2 maybe classes, or maybe 3 with science and religion. If it has like a line through it and says canceled, you can double click it or right click it, and there's something called like delete, okay, for canceled meetings. That'll make your calendar look a lot prettier, and you won't make the mistake of joining the wrong meeting, okay, and saying like, I'm in the lobby and they won't let me in. Well, nobody's letting you in because nobody's in that meeting, okay? They can't let you join because it's canceled, okay? So just maybe double check and make sure your calendar doesn't have canceled meetings, because it'll make it harder for you guys. Elvie, go ahead and ask your question.
Can I please go to the restroom real quick?
Yes, you guys, now you have a break. So don't come back until 10:15. You can shut your camera off, shut your mic off, go stretch. Have
10, wait, you said 10:15 or 9:15?
9:15 until 10:15. We end at 10:15. So yeah, come back at 9:15. Like I said, get a snack, watch some TV, stretch, whatever you want to do, and then you can come back. So you can mute your mic and your camera for now.
What time?
Miss Gomez.
Yes. Hello?
Thing again, I had to leave.
You have to leave?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, like things from hello?
Hello? Julian, how about I'm going to chat you, Julian, if you can hear me. I'm going to chat you separately because I think you might be breaking up.
Hello?
Hello?
What time do we
Hello?
come back?
We come back at 9:15, okay? So we have about,
Okay.
what is that, 18 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Can I unmute you? I'm going to check on my dog. I will be back. Let me shut my camera off. Okay, Carol?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys, we're gonna start getting ready. We have a minute, so if everybody can turn their cameras back on and their mics. Well, you can mute your mic, but at least put your camera back on. Get Julian in here. Hi, Elvie.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, you?
Good. I like your unicorn headband.
Thank
Or
you.
are those your headphones?
Yeah, they're my headphones.
Those are pretty cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Elvie's the unicorn kid.
My niece is a unicorn girl too. She loves unicorns. Everything is unicorns. I've been borrowing her lunchbox when I go to school, and it's a unicorn lunchbox.
She has a backpack, a lunchbox, folders.
Mm-hmm.
I love unicorns. Very majestic, mysterious creatures.
That once lived in the time of dinosaurs.
Okay, is everybody ready? Is everybody back? Elvie, I'm just gonna mute your mic, okay? Just so that everybody's muted for now, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna double check that everyone's muted. Why does it say Ivan is on hold?
Miss Gomez,
Yes.
it finally works now. It's not like that freezing no more.
Okay, good. Yeah. If it keeps happening, don't worry. It happens to me too. Sometimes it just glitches. My computer gets hot. If it keeps kicking you and you can't focus and you're getting frustrated, that's okay. Like I said, even if you want to right after class, just go ahead and watch the video of whatever it is that you missed, and then you should be okay for the day. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just the recording that's gonna is gonna be right here, right now. It's literally recording us, so you'll see everything. If you have any questions, I'm always available, especially during that time on your calendar that says office hours. You can ask me any question, and we can even meet on the computer like this, and I can show you personally. Okay, that goes for everyone. I'm always available if you have any questions. Okay.
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 Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I'm just gonna mute you, Julian, so we can get started. Okay, so we finished our sort of Harriet Tubman lesson. Our homework was due for today, and I hope everybody did it. I hope they did it well. I hope you guys got creative. I'm looking forward to reading them. I'm gonna read them today during office hours, unless somebody needs my help, but I'll be doing that. And you should get your grades by the end of the day. I'm sure everybody will get 100%. Everybody that did it. If you didn't do it, and you never reached out to me, you didn't give me an excuse ahead of time, I don't want to have to give you a 0 unless you want to talk to me about something after. Other than that, I have to give you 0. I know it seems mean, and I know it's all virtual, and it's kind of hard to keep up, but I think that if I sort of begin to let stuff slide and say, oh, it's okay, you won't get a 0 and stuff like that, after I had already made it due, then it might just make you think that you can just do that whenever you want, and you could just turn your homework in whenever. And if this was school, you would have to give me a physical copy, and that would be that. If you hadn't turned it in, you would have gotten a 0, okay? Unless your parent or somebody called me or you were absent. If you're not in the live session, I expect you guys to still go and watch the recording, okay? Unless, like I said, you have an excused absence and your parents email me ahead of time, or you email me or something and you say, Miss Gomez, I'm super sick today. I can't even look at my computer screen. It'll give me a headache. Okay, that's fine. I might have to confirm with your parents if I think you're lying, which I don't think that would happen because we all sort of trust each other already. Unless the trust gets broken, I will believe you. And then but if that's not the case, I expect you to watch the video and still turn in the homework for that night, okay? Elvie, I see you have your hand up. I can't unmute you, so you have to unmute yourself.
So since I was absent, I finished all the homework last night that you gave me, so will I still get the points?
Yes, so I think me and you discussed that. If you were absent, I know that you were having technical difficulty. You missed the first couple days of school. I don't know what it was. I think your mom and I talked, but you are totally fine. You'll get the full credit. I talked to a few of you guys who, I said, you didn't upload anything, and you were like, oh, well, it was, I got confused, or I didn't know how to do it, or it uploaded, but it was blank. I know that kind of stuff isn't your fault, so you're not going to get in trouble for that, okay? Like I said, I can work with you guys as long as you guys are honest with me. You can say, oh, Miss G, I'm sorry, I forgot. Like, I genuinely just forgot. It's hard to keep up, and we can maybe work something out, okay? Sound good? Okay, so after we talked about Harriet Tubman, we read that short story. We had a discussion. It was pretty good class. I think that was a subject that we all sort of enjoyed talking about and learning a bit more about. We were all a bit curious about slavery, what it meant to be a slave, what it might have felt like, and stuff like that. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is a totally different. We're actually going to talk about somebody who's a bit more fun, a bit more lighthearted, who's a bit more well known, I think, in the media, meaning like he shows up on TV a lot. He shows up on ESPN a lot if you watch sports. So does is it you? That's a good one. Very funny. So I'm gonna ask, does anybody know who Shaq is? And if you do know who Shaq is, I want you to raise your hand, or if you have something you might want to say about him, a fact you might know about, go ahead and share it. You can unmute your mic. Daniel knows who Shaq is. That's cool. Anybody else know who Shaq is? Miss Carol knows who Shaq is. Elvie does. Anybody want something? Okay, Antonio, you have something you want to say about Shaq? Who is Shaq? Tell me something about Shaq.
He played for the Lakers. He played basketball for the Lakers.
Yeah, very good. He did. How about Julian? Julian, what do you have to say about Shaq? You're muted. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
He's a all-time Lakers player.
Okay, yeah, he's like one of the greatest players of all time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So everybody knows about the basketball side of Shaq, and maybe you've seen him in a few movies and you think he's funny, but he actually writes short stories. And I thought that today for class, since it's the first week and we're sort of easing into things, I thought it would be fun for us to read another. No, but are talking about Shirk. Gabriel, I'm not sure if I understand your. Don't forget to mute yourself. So yes, so Shaq writes short stories, and we're gonna read one today. So I am going to screen share, and we're gonna do what we did last time. Instead of you guys reading to yourselves, I am just going to read it out loud, but I am gonna screen share the reading so you can sort of read on your own as I'm reading to you. In the future, hopefully, we could start reading to ourselves, and we could take 10 minutes from class, read, and then come back. But for now, we can start reading together. So I'm gonna show you guys once again how to find the reading. You're gonna open our team. You're going to go to ELA, okay? Not general files. You're going to go to ELA, that files, and then you're going to find it right here. And it's going to be called A Good Reason to Look. And the entire title is A Good Reason to Look Up. It's a really, really short story today. It's only one page. I don't know what's going on. Whoa. I don't know what I clicked. So you guys can see my screen, correct? Nod your head yes. Can you see my screen? Yeah, you can see the reading? Sorry, I had you guys closed. Good? Okay, so let's get started. So the title is called A Good Reason to Look Up. When I was a junior in high school, what my friends thought of me was real important to me. During those years, I grew much taller than most of my peers. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Let's go back. We'll come back to the reading. We have to do our quick presentation. I always forget. I almost forgot about this with Harriet Tubman as well. So here's some quick facts about Shaq. Let's go through Harriet. The man, the myth, the legend. I came up with that title because I just thought it was funny. So Shaq was a professional basketball player in the NBA. He is now a sports analyst and commentator for the NBA. He grew to be 7'1", so he's officially 7'1" tall. And I don't know if you guys realize that, but that's extremely, extremely tall. He grew quickly. At one point, his mother physically had to fight a bus driver who didn't believe her son was under the age of 5, and therefore he couldn't ride for free. She later kept his birth certificate with her everywhere she went. So that was a pretty funny fact, I thought. Well, and then he was 6'4" by the time he was 10. So that's what your guys' age. You guys are going to be 10 this year, or you already are 10. Imagine if there was a kid in our class who was 6'4". That'd be pretty cool. I think it would be cool. Another one was Shaq was always a troublemaker. He was always getting into sticky situations, whether he was causing them or he seemed to always be around. He was constantly starting fights and breaking things. He was actually cut from his high school basketball team, so they thought he wasn't going to make it, even in high school. He is now a comedian and an actor, and he's also a legend. That's something I put in there because I've always been a big, big basketball fan, and Shaq has always been one of my favorite players of all time. So we're going to go back to the reading now that we have our brief intro about Shaq for those of you who might not know who he is. And let's get started. So when I was a junior in high school, what my friends thought of me was real important to me. During those years, I grew much taller than most of my peers. Being so tall made me feel uncomfortable. In order to keep the focus off of me and my unusual height, I went along with the crowd who would play practical jokes on other kids at school. Being one of the class clowns gave me a way to make sure that the jokes were directed at others and not at me. I would pull all kinds of pranks that were harmful, and sometimes even harmful to others. Once before gym class, my friends and I put Icy Hot, and if those of you don't know what Icy Hot, it's almost like this lotion that when you put it on, it literally makes you feel super, super cold like ice, and then it makes you feel extremely, extremely hot. It's a really weird feeling. So you put Icy Hot in gym shorts of one of the kids on the basketball team. Not only was the kid terribly embarrassed, but he also had to go to the school nurse's office. I thought it was going to be funny, but it ended up being that no one thought it was funny, and least of all, my father. My parents didn't always think that my behavior was funny. They reminded me about the golden rule. Treat others as I would like to be treated. Many times I was disciplined for the hurtful way I was treating others. What I was doing was hurting other kids and in turn hurting my reputation as someone to be looked up to. My friends were looking up to me because I was tall, but what did they actually see? My parents wanted me to be a leader who was a good example to others, to be a decent human being. They taught me to set my own goals and to do the best at everything that I set out to do. During the lectures I got from my father, he told me over and over again to be the leader that I was meant to be a big man in my heart and in my actions, as well as in my body. I had to question myself whether or not it was important to be the kind leader and person my father believed I was inside. I knew in my heart that he was right, so I tried my best to follow my father's advice. Let's see. Here comes Ivan. Sorry. Once I focused on being the best that I could be at basketball and became a leader in the game, I took my responsibility to set a good example more seriously. I sometimes have to stop and think before I act, and I make mistakes from time to time, or occasionally, but everyone is human. I continue to look for opportunities where I can make a difference and to set a good example because of my father's advice. I now pass it on to you. Be a leader, Shaq, not a follower. Since people already have to look up to you, give them a good reason to do so. Signed, Shaquille O'Neal. So, what do you guys think about that story? Anybody have something they want to say? Violetta? No, hand up by accident. No? Okay, so we'll do Violetta and then Elvie, okay? Okay, go ahead, Violetta.
He's probably so good at basketball because he's like the tallest one.
Yeah, I definitely think so. A lot of athletes in the NBA are extremely, extremely tall, but Shaq definitely ranks in as one of the tallest. He was one of the tallest, and that definitely helps because they're closer to the hoop, right? Okay, Elvie and then Gabriel.
I really like that story. It was like really inspiring.
Good, yeah. I think
Because
so too.
sometimes I do a little pranks on my family, just a
Yeah.
little ones.
I mean, I do pranks on my family too. Sometimes it's fun, as long as nobody's getting too hurt. I think it's okay to be playful with each other, but it was an inspiring story. Emily says that was awesome. It was awesome, Emily. I was really surprised when I read that. I wasn't familiar with Shaq and his sort of short stories. He writes a lot like that are sort of inspirational, but they're always based on his real life experiences. So he did definitely experience a lot of different things in life, and sort of being. It almost seemed like he was almost like a bully, right? Some people he wasn't really nice to because he was so worried about being cool and being the funny guy. So I think it's interesting to hear what a story is like from the bully's point of view. We often hear about what it feels like to be bullied, but we rarely hear the story of a bully. So I thought that was interesting. Elvie, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so um actually, would anybody else have anything they'd like to say? I kind of wanted to do this as a discussion. Did anybody who kind of knew about Shaq learn something? I know Violetta has something else to say, and then we'll do Gabriel and then Violetta. Okay? Or maybe Gabriel changed his mind. And we have Arrington with her hand up. Okay, we'll do. Okay, so we'll do Arrington, Gabriel, and then Antonio. So go ahead, Arrington.
Well, I didn't know who Shaq was at first, but now I know a little bit about him, so it's a little bit so that story was pretty inspiring to me too.
Yeah, that's good. See, yeah, you don't even have to really know him too much. And maybe now that you've seen his face, or you've heard a little bit about him, you can look out for him because I know he shows up in a few movies. He's sort of like a silly background character, and he always has some sort of crazy outfit or something on. He could be really funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go Gabriel and then Antonio.
Uh, it's kind of it's sad when he couldn't ride the bus because the bus driver didn't think he was under 5.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of times when we think of somebody who's really tall, we are like, "Oh, that's super cool," or "Wow, you're freakishly tall. I hope you play sports." That's sort of like maybe the first thing that comes to mind. But I actually have a family member who was super tall when he was really young. He was like let's say like 5'9", 5'10" when he was only like in fourth grade. So he was really, really tall. Now he's like something. But for his age, he was tall and he was a little bit huskier. He was kind of big. And a lot of times people treated him differently. They treated him like he was older, even though he wasn't. And they expected a lot more from him. And it wasn't really fair to him. He thought it was kind of sad. He was treated a little differently just because of how he looked. So I think that's kind of how maybe Shaq felt from a young age, that since he was so big, he had to act differently than someone who might have been small. So that's a good thing to say. I think it's sad as well, Gabriel.
Okay.
So we'll go Antonio and then Gracia. And he is in
I
commercial.
knew. Yeah, I knew about Shaq already because I watched some of his highlights and stuff with Kobe, and I didn't know he was like a class clown when he was in school. And then I go to the gym, and then I play games with these like older high schoolers,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this really tall guy. He's probably like 16 or 17, and he's like 6'5" or something like that. He's really tall.
Yeah. And I bet when you guys are playing, everyone expects him to be really good, right? Because he's really, really, yeah. So there's a
And
lot of expectations.
we all expect him to dunk, but he doesn't even dunk a lot.
Yeah.
He hasn't dunked in one game yet.
See, maybe he doesn't know how to, but since he's tall, everybody assumes that he does, right?
Yeah, he's tall and lanky, but he's like skinny, so he's not that like wide.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so Shaq is definitely was the class clown type, and I think that might go into why maybe he's in a lot of he's in a lot of funny movies or he does silly commercials. Is maybe he's always been the funny type, but he didn't really know how to be funny without hurting other people's feelings. And then, after he talked with his dad, he realized, well, I can still be silly, I can still be myself, but I don't have to pick on other people to do it, which is really good to think about. I'm gonna look at the chat. Okay, let's keep the chat down to a minimum unless it's commentary or questions about the story. We'll go Gracia Violeta. Antonia, I'm gonna lower your
This
hand.
isn't really about Shaq, but my brother, he's only 3 years old and he's tall.
Yeah.
He's like, if I stand up, he's like about like here to me.
Oh yeah, that is tall. And I bet people think he's older when they see him, right? Do they think he's older?
A lot of people say he's 4, but he just turned 3 this year.
Yeah. And that could go along
Yeah,
with
he's really tall. He's really tall.
that could go along with the same thing where people might have expectations saying like, oh, that's a big kid, and they might treat him differently. When really in their brain, they're still a little kid. They just look big and they might get treated differently. So we'll go Violetta and then Elvie, okay?
I think I overheated or something.
One time, I was in Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my friend, we wanted to prank my little brother. So I made him a chocolate, and I put what's it called? Chile in it, and he actually drank.
So you pranked your brother with chile and chocolate. Oh no, was he upset?
He was mad.
So see, sometimes it's okay to have harmless pranks. I mean, the chile and the chocolate, if my brother did that to me, I would probably be very mad too. But I have a story similar. When I was in Mexico, when I was about 8 years old, I was with okay, guys, don't forget the chat if we could keep it to a minimum. When I was in Mexico, I was running around one day and I wasn't really paying attention. And I loved pickles when I was a kid. I would eat them all the time, just pickles, just like that from the jar. And my sister and my cousins told me, "Oh, this here, eat this pickle like it's your favorite." And it was a jalapeno. And I didn't even think about it. I'm running and I grab it and I bite it, and I was so mad. I felt like the cartoons where the smoke is coming out of your ears and out of your nose and out of your mouth because my mouth was on fire. I felt like I was gonna get sick. I had to drink like almost what felt like a whole gallon of milk. Yeah, it was pretty funny at the time, but I mean, looking back, it was funny, but in that moment, I was so angry. I was trying to think of any way I could prank them back. But I'm glad I didn't because I bet that if I would have pranked them, they would have pranked me, and we would have been pranking each other our whole lives. My brother used to put toothpaste in our Oreo cookies. Disgusting. Me and my sister go to eat Oreo, and we'd taste toothpaste. It was nasty. Don't do that unless you want to get in trouble. So yeah, there's a lot of pranks out there that we can do. Yeah, prank wars. But like I said, it seemed if from Shaq's short story, it seemed like it wasn't always pranks, right? It seemed like the people that he was pranking were more so getting bullied, right? They weren't necessarily his friends that he was being silly with and then they were getting each other back and it was harmless. It was more of like, oh, let's get that kid. Let's target him let's put the icy hot in his shorts and let's prank him. I mean, and let's prank him. But the kid ended up getting embarrassed. He had to go to the nurse. He probably had to call his parents. Shaq's parents had to know. So it was almost like Shaq was ashamed of his behavior, right? Because he wasn't doing that because he thought it was okay. He was only doing it because he wanted the approval of his friends, right? He wanted his friends to think he was this cool, tough guy that they can sort of look up to and think of as the big man, right? But like his father said, do you really want people to look at you for that, or do you want them to look at you because you're a good person? So that's definitely a lesson to take out of that. So now that our discussion, does anybody else have they want something to say? No? Last time? Okay. So we are also going to have, oh, let's see what Ivan said. You gave your little brother a spicy Dorito, I'm assuming, Ivan. I have tried to do that to my niece, even now as an adult, but I just want her to eat spicy food. It's not because I'm trying to prank her. I want her to try it because I think she might like it. But okay, no more pranks. Elvie, you have a question.
I just like I just want to say the prank that I usually do on my mom.
Okay, you can do it really quickly, but then we have to get back to the lesson.
Okay. So she hates slime. So I usually just grab like any type of slime, like an orange slime or any type of slime that kind of matches into my hand. And I like spread it all over my hand and just try to grab her hand so it sticks to her.
Oh no, my mom hates slime too. If anybody knows who Miss Gloria is, she also hates slime.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a cute story, Elvie. Ooh, sorry, I made it by accident. But hopefully your mom doesn't get too mad one day. But okay, so we do have homework again in English. So tonight, we have 2 assignments, one for social studies and one for English, okay? Both of them are very simple. The first, everybody know, I think you guys can understand that the first social studies assignment is not hard. You really just have to type up 5 sentences about a slide, either, like I said, whether you think that chapter's gonna be boring, exciting, interesting, any questions you might have already, things you hopefully want to hear us talk about in class, suggestions, whatever you want to do. That assignment should not take more than 30 minutes, okay? Maybe even less. So our next assignment, I'm going to, let's see. Oh no, I don't know who sent that message. But I'm going to show you guys what the prompt is going to look like. And once again, like I did with social studies, I am going to upload the assignment right after our class. So let's go to OneDrive. Okay, so this one is going to be a bit more fun. So if you guys hadn't noticed, our sort of theme is heroes this week. So in the beginning of the week, we talked about Harriet Tubman, and she's almost like a historical hero, right? She's a hero to a lot of people all over the world. And today we talked about Shaq, and for some people that might be their hero. He might be an inspiration to tall people, to small people, to people who love basketball, or to people who don't watch basketball at all. Okay, so we have 2 different types of heroes, and everybody's okay. So if anybody else sends a chat, I don't have to be mean, but if anybody else sends a chat that's not related to class, I'm gonna have to give you your first strike. Okay, sound good? You paying attention to homework? Okay, cool. So we are talking about heroes, okay? That's going to be the theme of our week. And on tomorrow, we're going to have a really cool project that we're going to start working on, and then it'll be due Friday. It's not a big project, but it's kind of fun. So tonight, what I want us to do for homework is I want you guys to tell me who your hero is. And so it might seem like a silly assignment, but it'll actually be quite fun. I know you might have done something similar when you were younger, but now that you're older, you have a lot more time to sort of really sit back and think about the person you are, think about the person you want to be, and sort of think about somebody that you might know now in the present, someone that you have read about, someone you wish you could be like, okay? Someone who is your hero, someone who inspires you. So I'm going to share the prompt. So this is going to be for homework tonight. So it says, students, for today's assignment, I would like for you all to tell me about your hero.
I don't see it.
Are you guys see my screen? Yeah, can you see the paper that I was reading from? Okay, who was that says they don't see it?
I don't.
Raphael? Okay. Well, you guys probably see like yourselves now because I'm like, can you see my mouse going around Arrington's face?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now I can.
Arrington. I just needed to show them. I hope you don't mind. Okay, so can we get on with the homework and then we can ask questions right after? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so for today's assignment, I would like for you all to tell me about your hero. It could be someone you might know, like your mom or dad or grandpa or sister or brother, whatever. Someone you don't know. It could be someone like Shaq or someone from the past like Harriet Tubman or someone from the present. So I guess that's repeating. I would like for you to describe this person and tell me why they are your hero. Your assignment should be one paragraph, so at least 5 sentences. If you want, you can also provide a picture of your hero in the document. So I did mine, for example. I put my name. This is how I would like for you guys to do all your assignments if you can sort of get into the habit. I put my class, Miss Gomez 5A, or I mean, you guys are 5B. I put the date, and I put the assignment name, so my hero. And then I started it. My hero is Harriet. I'm going to go and mute whoever is not muted. I think it's LB. Okay. My hero is Harriet Tubman. I chose Harriet Tubman as my hero because she is the type of person that I wish I could be. I think that she was very brave and strong. Her journeys must have been very hard, but she never gave up. She was a true hero to everyone that she saved and to the other people she inspired to escape or helped others escape. She always knew what the right thing to do was, and she never gave up hope. She is a true hero to all women, men, and children. And then I put a little picture. So it could be something like that, okay? You can make your paragraph a lot longer. You can make it, you can do whatever you want with it. You can get creative. If you choose somebody from the past, you can say, and you know, I wish I could ask my hero this question, or whatever you want to do, okay? So something like that. Who is talking? Who's asking? Ureli? Okay, go ahead, Ureli.
So is that one supposed to be the project or something?
So that isn't the project, but that's gonna get us started for the project. So it's important that everybody does this homework tonight, that everybody picks a hero, because tomorrow in class we're gonna get started on our project, and everybody's project is gonna be different. We're gonna do a project on the hero that we pick for homework. Okay?
Okay, so we only have 2 assignments, right?
Yes, you only have the talk about the slide for social studies, and then you have tell me who your hero is for English. Both are only one paragraph. So yesterday, if we think about it, for English, we had to write 2 paragraphs in our letter. So it's almost like the same amount of work just for 2 different subjects, okay?
Okay.
And it wasn't too hard, right?
Yeah, it wasn't hard.
Just 10 sentences, but 2 different topics. So Yareli's all good. We'll do Michael, Gracia, Rafael, Antonio, and then Elvie, okay? So go ahead, Michael. And then Julian. I don't know who was first. One of you can go first. Julian or Michael? Okay, Julian.
Can it be like a superhero or no?
Yeah, if you want, that's fine. As long as you can describe them. If you think that Iron Man, because you love the Avengers, if Iron Man is your hero, you can go ahead and put I love Iron Man. He's my hero. He's my hero because he's so smart and he's always doing the right thing. Whatever you want to say, whatever reason he is your hero. But that's fine. You can pick a superhero. Michael, and then Gracia. I don't know where Michael is. And Daniela in the chat, yes, this is due tomorrow. So I'm going to post it right after we're done with this class. And then I want you to have it done before class tomorrow morning, okay? Okay, awesome. Okay, so Michael might be silenced. I'm going to chat him and see if he's okay. So Gracia, you can go ahead and ask your question.
This is not really a question, but my brother wanted to say bye.
Oh, bye.
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 Oh my gosh, he just got shy.
He just got shy, yeah. I know how that is. Okay, we'll go Antonio, Elvie, and Rafael.
This is
Antonio, your mic is muted.
This isn't what I'm going to put in my thing, but it was a long time ago. It was when Ureli, her sister, my sister and me, and my parents went to Wisconsin Dells.
Mm-hmm.
And then we there was this little parkour thing over the water, and the lifeguard, I don't know what he was doing. He was just talking to some random person, and then I fell when I almost drowned. But Ureli's sister grabbed my hand right when I was about to sink to the bottom. I'm not gonna put that as my hero, but like she saved my life that day.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you can do that too. You can talk about an experience that you think somebody saved your life. That's totally fine. That'd be something I'd love to read. Or you can do somebody who is your real life hero that you look up to, whichever one you want to do. Or you can do both if you want to just write your real project and then put a little story on the side and say, hey, this is what happened to me. That's fine too. That's a really interesting story. I'm glad she saved your life. Glad you're here with us. Be different without you. Okay, so we'll do Elvie, Raphael, and then Ivan.
So can we write more than about more than one hero?
Yeah, if you want to talk about more than one hero, that's fine. But for our project, you will have to pick one, okay? But you can still write about two. Okay, sorry, that is my dog. We are gonna go Raphael, Ivan, and then Gabriel. So Raphael, go ahead and ask your question.
Can we pick someone from anime?
Yeah, you can talk about anybody you want, even if it's a fictional character. So let's say, hold on, my dog, sorry. Simba. So let's say that's kind of the same as picking a superhero, okay? Sort of like Iron Man or something like that. You can pick somebody like that. As long as that's somebody you truly look up to and you can describe them and describe why you look up to them, that's fine too, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna pick someone from anime.
Okay. Next we have Ivan and then Gabriel. Ivan, do you have a question?
Could it be a YouTuber?
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. As long as as long as you have a good reason as to why you look up to them, and you can explain it in your paragraph, that's okay as well. Okay, next we'll go Gabriel.
Can I do my grandpa?
Yes, you can do your grandpa.
Because he helped me I help do fix the house with him.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. If you have a great bond with your grandpa, that's okay. Okay.
And now our house is more better now. It has,
Good.
and now we're working on our on my godmother's house, which he made the foundation better.
Good. See? So this is all stuff you can talk about in your in your um in your homework assignment. You can say,
But
you know, my
the
grandpa was
only
a hard worker.
the only bad thing is that he has a bad heart, so he
Oh,
has to eat healthy, and he got into he has injuries from things like he got one time he got hit by a car, by his own car while it was rolling down. It hit him, and then sometimes you bleed from like nailing or drilling or
oh.
the saw.
Well, I am sorry to hear that about your grandpa.
Okay, but he's much better.
Good. That's good. But yes, that's perfectly okay to talk about. Okay, that's okay for you to choose him.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody else have a question about their assignment? The picture is optional. You don't have to put a picture in there, especially if you don't know how to upload a picture into Word or you get too confused. That's okay, okay? That's totally fine. I just want you to make sure you at least do the assignment. Now, what I'm going to do, since we had issues, is I'm going to show you one more time how to upload an assignment. And for those of you who already know how to do it, you're probably like, oh my gosh, again. But I just want to show you because I don't want anybody to say like I don't get it because it doesn't make sense. I'm explaining it a bunch of times. And also I'm gonna actually do it from the app's point of view, okay? So if you have an iPad, because I think that might be the most difficult, because we haven't really showed. So I'm gonna show you my phone, and hopefully you can see. It might be a little bit like shadow, but you see when you open. If everybody can mute their mic, I think that's Christian. I'm gonna mute you, Christian. Sorry. Um.
Miss Gomez, can it be someone from a game?
Hmm. Like let's say like you're saying like a Fortnite character, right?
Probably like that or something else. That's a hero.
Okay, it could be anybody that you feel like and someone that you really think is a hero. So like I said, you want to sort of think about who you are as a person and who you would like to be when you sort of grow up. Someone that inspires you. So if you think that this character really inspires you and you have enough that you can use to talk about and that you can do this mini project that we're going to do tomorrow on, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Julian, yes, if you need to leave and come back, that's totally fine. I will let you back in. So it just kicked Miss Carol as well. I think it's Teams. Okay, so when you open your Teams app, okay, it's gonna look something like, it might look something like this. I don't know if you can see it, but you might have all your teams and a bunch of like drop boxes. So what you're gonna do is underneath down here there's teams, and then next to it there's this tab and it says assignments. You're gonna click on it, okay? And it's gonna ask you choose a class. So we are Miss Gomez is 5B. So you would click Miss Gomez 5B, and then your assignments are gonna show up like this in order. So we have the order of history, letter to Harriet, and now we have our social studies, which is named feedback on slides. Feedback just means let me know what you think, okay? I want your input. I want you to tell me how you feel so far. So I want your feedback. I want you to talk to me. So you would click on that. This is from your iPad or iPhone point of view. And then it would look something like this, okay? And it would have the assignment right here. I don't know if you can see it. And then it would say upload work. That's where I want you to upload it. So that's how you can reach our homework on the app and how you can find where to upload it on the app. And then don't forget there's a purple button and it says turn in. Make sure you click turn in. Otherwise, if you just upload it and you leave, I'm not going to get your assignment and I'm going to assume it's a 0, okay? And the thing about assignments is, I don't know if you guys know this, but it shows me when you open an assignment, when you view it, it says, let's use Ureli for an example. It'll tell me Ureli viewed your assignment, but she didn't turn it in. So that means that I know that you guys know where the assignment is, what the assignment is, and how you can find it, and you just chose not to do it because you didn't feel like it. That's what I'm going to think, okay? So make sure that you're doing your homework because I can see when you guys see it and when you just choose not to turn it in, okay? And like I said, if you're having issues, I'm not going to be mad at you. It's not your fault. I know technology can be hard to handle. So you can always just chat with me and let me know, hey, Miss Gomez, I might be late turning it in. I can't, I can see it, but I can't download it. Or I can see it. I know a couple of you guys see just like a blank page. The words aren't loading or the pictures aren't loading. That's okay. That's not your fault, okay? But one more time, and then we're done for the day. One more time. If we want to start all the way from the beginning, we are going to, God bless you, we are going to open our Google Chrome. We are going to office.com. Hopefully you guys are signed in. Hopefully it just signs you right away back in. If not, you have to put in your email and your password that the school gave you. Then you're going to go over to Teams. And since I am a teacher, it's going to look different for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm in Miss Grogan's class. She teaches 4th grade. I'm in her class as a student. So this is what it'll look like for you, okay? So when I join her team, when I open her team, I see all this stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many channels. What do I do? Don't worry. All of your assignments will always be in general, okay? Even for all of your subjects. So both history, both our social studies and our English assignments, you will find in the same place. As soon as you open the team, you're going to go over to assignments. And you're going to find it. So, this one is due today at midnight. So here's where I can find the instructions. It's going to load for me. It's telling me, okay, put my name, my date, and all of these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my tab of Office, open my Word, create a new blank document. The first thing I might do so that it helps my brain to remember when I'm trying to upload it is name it. So this is Princess and the Pea assignment. So right up here you can name the assignment, Princess and the Pea. What's going on? Is that a chat? Oh, Lily. Okay. So Princess and the Pea. So then I'm going to sort of, figure it out. So Anna, let's pretend I know the homework and I do it and I'm done and it's an A+, okay? So if you notice on Word that it automatically says saved. It saves by itself. So you can just go ahead and exit out when you're done. Now, right here, this is what your screen will look like. It's going to have a paper clip and it's going to say add work, okay? So I'm going to click on that and it's going to take me to this. It's going to say, where do you want to, where are you going to upload your work from? And that's why naming your document is so important because look at how easy. Now I know which one it is. You might have a bunch of documents here from all of your other homework. That's why naming it is important so you know which one it is. So Princess and the Pea homework, easy peasy. Wait for this blue bar here to load all the way. If you click turn in, it might turn in blank, okay? It might not load all the way, and I might just receive a blank document. So make sure it loads. Okay, all done. And then I'm going to click this purple button here, and I'm going to click turn in, and it's going to tell you, confirmation, turned in Wednesday, August 26th. You might get that cool emoji thing that just happened, 10:03 a.m. with a check. And that'll be it, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. And then the way you do it is through the app, what I kind of showed you in the beginning. The thing about the app is you have to download the Word app separately from Teams. So you have to leave the Teams app, open the Word app, do your homework there, save it on your Word app, and then upload it back onto Teams. It's a bit more difficult. So if you are on the app and you just really can't get it on the iPad or something, just let me know and I'll work with you. And maybe I'll just let you guys email it or something if it's too difficult. Okay? And then remember, where you can find our reading, because I want you guys to also reread the Shaq story if you'd like, or if you just, want to read it or show your mom or dad, like, hey, did you know this about Shaq? You could totally do that. What you'll do is you'll find the reading in ELA. You have to click ELA files, and here's our good reason to look up. That's our Shaq story. And here is, for some reason, Harriet Tubman's just showed up as scammed. Okay? Does anybody else have any more questions about the assignment? No. Okay, great. Like I said, if you do, if for some reason it's not loading for you or something like that, let me know. I haven't uploaded it, so don't go check now. I'm going to upload it right now before my next class starts with 5A. And other than that, we are all good to go. So you guys have a nice rest of your day. I know some of you have to go to Miss C. You have math or religion and science. I'm not quite sure. I know Lily, you have your hand up. If everybody else wants to leave, I can talk to Lily by herself. Gabriel, if you want to ask your question, or you're waving? You're waving, right? Or do you have a question? Yeah, you're waving? Okay. Julian, you can also ask your question now. Everybody else, you're free to go. Have a nice rest of your day.
Next, when's the next meeting?
What is it, Julian? I'm sorry, one more time.
When's the next meeting if you do know?
So you are in 5B.
I think it's 10:30. Yes, I looked at it.
Yes, I also think that you have math with Miss C at 10:30. So you can access your meeting through the calendar, kind of like how you found this one, Julian, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And if for some reason you can't get to it, chat with Miss C and let her know. Say, hey, Miss C, I can't find it, and can you please help me get in? She might be able to call you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Good day. See you tomorrow at 8:30 again.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Actually, I don't have a question anymore.
Okay, Gabriel. Don't forget to do your homework. Bye, Daniel. Bye, Gabriel. Bye, Ivania. Bye, Stefania. Have a good day. Bye, Ivania. Ivania, actually, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah. I know that you were in Mexico and you didn't have access to your computer and stuff. So for homework, I didn't give you a 0 yet. I understand that you have a lot to catch up to do. So I'm thinking for our homework, so if you could do tonight's homework, that would be great. Our hero assignment and our slides assignment, if you want to just talk about one of the 3 we went over in class. If not, that's okay. You can make up your homework. How about Monday? So I'll give you the weekend to make up everything. You can watch the old videos. It gives you time to watch the old videos, do the homework, and make sure you feel okay? Because I know you still are learning new stuff today, so you have to catch up, learn new stuff. You might feel overwhelmed, and that's okay. So if you want to do that, is that fine? Is Monday okay to do the other homework?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And let me know if you have any questions, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Anastasia, I'm going to go with Jess for the next 2 classes.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 with you and then 2 with her every day.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this week for my 2 subjects, Angelica didn't really want me getting into the actual book yet because I got hired super last minute.
Yeah.
So next week we're starting. Yeah. So next week we're starting official, textbook work. So this week it's pretty simple anyway. Just some short stories and work.
Miss?
Yes.
Gomez, how do you get out of the car?
Okay. So there should be a red button with an old telephone and it says leave.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you just click on that one time and you should leave, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's hope it works for her. Perfect. Okay, Carol. Well, I will see you tomorrow then.
Okay then. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.